Collision at sea between a general cargo ship and an oil bunker barge, August 2015. The chief officer on the general cargo ship failed to maintain a proper lookout because he allowed himself to become distracted, primarily by cargo paperwork, but also by a phone call and potentially the use of his tablet computer.
Grounding off the south coast of England, June 2004. The mobile telephone was in use on the bridge for the majority of the time between the pilot disembarking and the vessel grounding. It is known that the master made some, if not all, of the calls during this period. No one appears to have been concentrating on the safety of the vessel.
Multiple collisions on the River Mississippi, January 2016. Probable cause, failure of the pilot on the Aris-T to take early and effective action, and the distraction of the captain on the Loretta G. Senac as a result of his cell phone use. $60 million worth of damage to vessels and shore structure.
What the official findings of these three incidents tell us is a repeated and repeating story, even extending back to a time before mobile phones and other electronic distractions were so widespread. It's a story with a grim inevitability of the limits of human concentration meeting the inexorable events at sea, which can lead to serious consequences. At a minimum, they can be bad for your career or your reputation at sea. At worst, they can be fatal. But how can such situations develop even amongst experienced mariners? CHIRP Maritime and University College London have worked together to create a scenario based on real events at sea and in port to show how being on your mobile and doing your job simply do not mix. So let's see what happens when you and your duties are engulfed in a sea of distractions.
We need to get closer inshore. We're losing the Wi-Fi signal. I've still got to phone my wife to wish her a happy birthday yet.
I'll have a look at the diversion, but I'm sure it's off our scheduled track. We're going to hit heavier traffic inshore.
Yeah, all right. Done it before. Just remember, this is the last chance we're going to get to phone home for several weeks.
It's your call.
Thank you.
Bridge, engine room. Anyone up there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi Joe, engine room. Hey, keep this phone signal in as long as possible, can you? We're all trying to phone home for the last time in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm giving it a go. The vessel plan's a bit tight with shore. We can't be too long here.
Yeah, understood. Oh, by the way, we're doing hot work in the engine room workshop. Isolate zone 13, can you?
Yeah, zone 13, not a problem. Until further notice.
Yeah, great, thanks. And don't let us down, we're all relying on you.
Oh no, don't say that.
Bridge, engine room. Joe, what the hell is going on? I told you to isolate zone 13.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot to do it. I was distracted earlier. It's all okay.
What's the story with that alarm?
Sorry, Captain. I didn't isolate the zone 13 on the fire alarm, but they're okay in the engine room. They're doing hot work down there. But everything's okay now. But I've got heavy traffic up ahead. I need to.
Oh, you'll be all right for a little bit longer.
But
Just got to go down and finish this call. You know where I'll be if you need me.
Captain, can you please come to the bridge, please?
I told you, I'll be up shortly. I'm just finishing my call.
What? Oh. Dan, I can't speak now. I'm busy. I'm at work. What do you expect me to do out here? No, you have to get someone else to sort it. It's fine. Just deal with it and I'll deal with it. We'll talk later about it.
David Prophet, this is Stanway Hold, ship on your starboard side. What are your intentions, sir?
Dan, wait, no, let's just go. We can, no.
What the hell?
It's not hard for you, of course, looking at these scenarios to see what went badly wrong on the bridge that day. And the issues are not new. The MAIB and the MCA in the UK and the NTSB in the US have been highlighting these issues for quite some time. What we're going to do is look at the science behind these events and ask, how can a series of what might appear to be minor or familiar events add up to some very serious and damaging consequences?
We need to get closer inshore. We're losing the Wi-Fi signal. I've still got to phone my wife to wish her a happy birthday yet.
I'll have a look at the diversion, but I'm sure it's off our scheduled track. We're going to hit heavier traffic inshore.
Yeah, all right. Done it before. Just remember, this is the last chance we're going to get to phone home for several weeks.
It's your call.
Thank you.
There's a lot going on here, and I'm sure you've seen things exactly like this before. And let's think about the science. What's going on? In the first place, the captain has deviated from the passage plan, and that raises some immediate problems about perception and decision making. The officer of the watch has now got to think what to do that's not on the passage plan. So her stress levels are raised, the number of things she's got to make decisions about has increased. Because you're going inshore off the passage plan, the number of events and the density of traffic is going to increase. And you've already at this point set up a perfect scenario for a disaster.
Up there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi Joe, engine room. Hey, keep this phone signal in as long as possible, can you? We're all trying to phone home for the last time in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm giving it a go. The special plan's a bit tight with shore. We can't be too long here.
Yeah, understood. Oh, by the way, we're doing hot work in the engine room workshop. Isolate zone 13, can you?
Yeah, zone 13, not a problem. Until further notice.
Yeah, great, thanks. And don't let us down, we're all relying on you.
Oh no, don't say that.
There's so much going on here. I think there are two main things I think we really need to drive home here. One is that no matter how comfortable and confident you feel in a situation, it doesn't mean that you're right. So you might feel as if you can monitor the screens that you've got in front of you and your mobile phone. And you might feel that you've done it before and got away with it, so you can do it. But scientifically, let me tell you, you can't. Every time we switch from one event to another, a phone to a screen to a tannoy, we call it a switching cost. You leave part of your brain behind. You can never be 100% on task when you're switching between one thing and another. And it doesn't matter how you feel, the science says that you're wrong. Now, here what we're seeing is that she's got the screens in front of her, the monitors. She's got her phone coming in as a channel, and she's got the tannoy from the engine room coming in as a channel. Your brain cannot deal with 3 channels of information. And just think about trying to watch the TV while somebody's talking to you. That's just 2 channels of information. You simply cannot do it, and we have to accept this and work on it. The second thing is how many items of information there are coming from those channels, and we have limits to what we can remember at any one point in time. The maximum is 4, but when you're under stress and when events are happening, your brain's capacity for memory can go down to 1 event at a time. So however confident you feel here, it isn't the case that your brain shares that confidence that you feel.
Bridge, engine room. Joe, what the hell is going on? I told you to isolate zone 13.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot to do it. I was distracted earlier. It's all okay.
What's the story with that alarm?
Sorry, Captain. I didn't isolate the zone 13 on the fire alarm, but they're okay in the engine room. They're doing hot work down there. But everything's okay now. But I've got heavy traffic up ahead. I need to.
You'll be all right for a little bit longer.
But
Just got to go down and finish this call. You know where I'll be if you need me.
So a lot going on, again, compounding the problems from the previous scene, but also adding new ones. If you could see, when the alarm went off, that required her to do something on a touch screen. So we've got another channel of information being added there. Then we have the tannoy, and then we have the captain. So now we've got already 4 channels of information across which she's got to divide her attention. If we add on to that the building stress and the stress from the embarrassment of having been caught out for not isolating the sector 13, you can see that in addition to all these things, she's got to think about what to do next. And what we'll look at over the next 2 scenes and build towards are some golden rules of decision making and attention, which here are all being broken.
Captain, can you please come to the bridge, please?
I told you, I'll be up shortly. I'm just finishing my call.
What? Oh.
you can see here some of the seemingly simple things which you might not think mattered in that scene. I'll choose just one, and it was the act of picking up the phone, looking at it and putting it down again. So she didn't do anything. You might think that doesn't matter. But remember the task switching cost. Whenever you switch from one thing to another, it's as if you leave a little bit of your brain behind. Clearly, it was a stressful thing that she saw on the phone as well that she really didn't need to deal with now. So that increases the stress. The captain, of course, doesn't help in this. At some point, it's got too far for him to recover the situation. In the tree of decision making, you have to make it clear for everybody what the options are and what the preferred direction is. But she has no idea what the captain wants from her. So we now have a perfect storm of divided attention between too many possible events, divided attention between too many channels of information, and in this scene we see added the external, the visual of the ship and the navigational alarm. We've got the stress of not quite knowing what the captain wants, and we've got the stress of having some of her mind on personal issues rather than the job at hand. There's only one way this is going.
Dan, I can't speak now. I'm busy. I'm at work. What do you expect me to do out here? No, you have to get someone else to sort it. It's fine. Just deal with it, and I'll we'll talk later about it.
David Prophet, this is Stanway Hold, ship on your starboard side. What are your intentions, sir?
Dan, wait, no, let's just go. We can, no.
What the hell?
So the consequences were inevitable, frankly, from the outset of this set of events. And at all points, what was building were the consequences of working beyond the human limits of perception and memory. Now, you can't avoid having to attend to your charts. You can't avoid responding to the radio. You can't avoid interacting with your crew members. But you can avoid adding that last element of overloading on your memory and perception system, which is having your mobile phone on there. And you might think that you wouldn't answer the phone at that critical time when she picked up there. But one of the features of stress and decision making and being beyond your memory capacity is that your decision making becomes worse and worse and worse. And it's very often the case that it's the simple things that we do or don't do that have the biggest consequences. So if we look at the captain's role in all this, I think we can take a golden rule from it, which is that if you have a plan, you reduce the stress in decision making and you improve the communication between the members of the crew. Even when you deviate from that plan for good reasons, having stuck to it for as long as possible will make things easier and give you clarity. The second golden rule is to remember that any stress will further reduce your capacity for memory and perception. Your attention will be divided even further and your decisions will be worse. And I think a third golden rule to remember is that if we bring channels of communication into this environment which are not informing us about the job at hand, then they are necessarily contributing to increasing the likelihood of accidents like this. None of this, in this scenario or in real life, needed to happen. But if we can understand why, and we can, then we can understand how to prevent these things from happening. We can avoid catastrophes and even save lives.